What up, brawlers? Welcome back to Throwing Hands. Daniel couldn't make it today, but we got Nikolas Motta, who's just fresh off a Contender Series win and a UFC contract. Nicholas, how you doing?
I'm doing good, bro.
Alrighty, so we're gonna get to the win a little bit later, but we're gonna kick it off with how'd you get your start in MMA?
I started on MMA when I did some training like when I was on my hometown because like small town, but sometimes we have like some some MMA fighters, sometimes good big names. They used to go to my hometown, then we did some training, but I started to train like for real when I was 18. I moved after I finished high school in Brazil. I moved it to Rio to train in Nova União. That was like the number one on the number one team of lightweights in the world. And I moved to Rio to be a pro. And I started to train everything: wrestling, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, boxing, and MMA.
So how when you went to join that team with all those with the best down in Rio, how'd that help you um train in the sense that was it better training with the better guys or like is that how did it form you?
Was like, first of all, I start to feel like impressed with like, man, how he will learn so fast because so many high level guys, and sometimes not just by training but just by looking what they doing, how they doing, you already learn so fast. So made me grow so fast. That's why 2.5 years later, I was 6-1, 5 KOs, and I was on the Ultimate Fighter, almost in UFC already.
Speaking of the
And
Ultimate
they said I
Fighter, you
was,
go on to Tough
and they
Brazil.
said like I was. Oh, sorry. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
and right after the tryouts, I opened like Brazil Media, like the biggest website of Brazil Media, and they say, oh, some of the biggest MMA names in Brazil, they were there on the tryouts, and they put some guys' names, and they put my name too, and I'm like, oh, I'm a big name.
So you get to Tough Brazil. You were originally on Anderson Silva's team, but then you joined the Nogueira Bros team after Silva tested positive for something. What were your takeaways from that tough season?
First of all, was like amazing experience and Anderson Silva was a legend, and I grew up watching him, and it was so cool to be on his team. And the first guy he did pick was one of his students and friend who was already his student and friend before the Tough House, and I was the second one that he chose, and I felt so like so good about that. That makes me feel like he knows I'm a very good striker, just like him.
So you then you moved to the Nogueira Bros. What'd you learn from the Nogueira Bros? You know, they're notorious grapplers. Like, how'd you like? What skills have you taken from them?
Oh, they are so cool. Not just their skills, but they have like a lot of heart, and they really love to fight. That's something I learned from them too. Yeah, I learned a lot from them, and they are super nice guys. I learned some boxing from Minotauro. He was like an Olympic boxer. He used to compete for Brazil boxing Olympic team, and Minotauro Nogueira, we learn a lot, like all the heart he has. He never give up. He loves to fight, and his jiu-jitsu is great.
So after tough, you lose two of the next five. How do you respond to those losses, and what do you take away from losses?
Uh, I was the first loss. I was just like I felt like, man, I can't believe, because I was just in Vegas and almost in UFC. Then I had to come back and fight on the regionals in Brazil, like, and I was just like, yeah, not. too motivated, and I think I got like ah I got too like thinking about the past, and I don't know, man. It's like my mind wasn't right. I was too young too. I don't know, and I think I lost more for my own self, and I think was a little bit of ego too. Like I was thinking like I'm too good to be fighting the regionals. I shouldn't be fighting a big promotion. Then that's trick. I shouldn't be thinking like that. I should be humble all the times, and I think I lost to myself.
So, then you I'm sorry. So then you get to the Dana White Contender Series. How'd that come together?
Uh, so then I went contender series was like I could show that now I'm not just a kid who likes to knock people out and like who likes to brawl. Show that I'm like now I'm a man. I have a lot of experience, and I try to don't make mistakes so I could get my contract.
So, you know, it's been a while, about a year since your last fight. Was there any ring rust, or was there things that you had like break in again?
It's because I was like I just after I had the CFFC title and I was coming from a winning streak. I'm like, now I did all that I had to do. Now I gotta wait for a big promotion. I want to go to UFC. Because bro, like almost 10 years fighting regional promotions. I'm like, nah, man. Now I have to go to a big promotion. Then I wait until I have this opportunity. But like I say, after the fight, I was almost in giving up. I was I was ready to go to Brazil to see my family for end of the year, like Christmas, because all my life, me and my family, we spend Christmas together. Then I was like already ready to go. But even I was sad and thinking about give up, I always been training. Doesn't matter if I was sad or feeling like unmotivated. I'm still going training hard with my boy Joaquin Silva, Neto BJJ. I got lucky because he in New Jersey, and he always was pushing me hard. We sparring so many rounds hard, doing strength and conditioning a lot, doing wrestling, everything. Then then the only problem was like I was too heavy. Even I was training too much. I was getting too angry and upset. Like, oh, bro, I didn't watch any of the contenders before. I didn't want to watch contender because I was like, fuck, why I'm not in contender? I don't want to watch this. And when my manager called me, I was like 35 pounds overweight. So and was 20 days notice. So I had to cut 35 pounds in 20 days. But I want that so hard. So I made it happen. And I could make 156, but I made like a champ. I made 155 because I want that so hard. And I want to show that I'm a champion.
So you proved yourself. You got the contract. How'd it feel when you got that? When Dana White called your name up?
Hmm. Oh, feels great. In the beginning, I felt like, damn, maybe I did enough because I want to impress everybody, like with like a highlight heel knockout, just like I did in a couple of fights before, and probably that's why Dana White expected that from me. But at the same time, after watching the fight and after talk with a lot of people, I know I did the right thing that I had to do. I fought smart, and at the same time, all the times I was like, when I was finding openings, I was trying to knock him out, then going back to defense. Then I see an opening, I was trying to knock him out. Wasn't like I was doing a boring fight. I was doing like an exciting fight.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great fight. So you got your contract. What's up next?
Thanks, bro. Now it's my debut. I feel so good. Next, my debut is the time to impress the world.
Is there a is there a timetable for your debut early next year?
I don't have exactly a date yet, but I want to be fast as possible. Not like fast as possible. How I say that. I'm already trying to train it. I have like like little injuries from the fight, but I'm already doing my best to get back in shape. And I'm just gonna go to Brazil to spend the Christmas with my family real fast and come back to United States and let's start my legacy now in UFC.
Definitely. Definitely. All right. I appreciate you coming on. What are your social media so that people can follow you?
Thanks, bro. Is Nikolas Motta, Nicholas with K and Motta with two T's on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook too.
Well, Nicholas, I want to thank you for coming on, man. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thanks.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.
I